I wanted to hop on here and share a little bit about our process with our puppies. We are holistic breeders and we focus a great deal on holistic care. We do some integrative because sometimes we need that. Conventional medicine can be very good for emergencies, so sometimes we do that too. But the majority of our focus is on holistic care, trying to keep things as natural and safe as possible for our dogs and our puppies. So we actually applied this with our family as well. So that's kind of how we started down that road. Is we learned a lot of it because of my health challenges and having to switch to more natural things in order to maintain my quality of life. If I had stuck with conventional, my quality of life would have been very bad. But anyway, that's kind of off topic a little bit, but that's where it started for us. And so anyway, with our puppies, we raise them very naturally. We try to keep them away from as many toxic things as possible. We reduce as much medication. We use as little medication as possible with them. We use safe alternatives for quite a few of the conventional things that are generally pushed with puppy care, and find that our puppies do very well with it. So it's really a good system. But we don't just do that. We go a lot further and we educate our people. So I'm going to talk about that in a few minutes. But when somebody is interested in one of our puppies and is considering getting one of our puppies, they fill out a new owner questionnaire where they tell us about their lifestyle, and then let us know any preferences they have. They answer a bunch of questions for us, and it just gives us a good idea of who they are and what kind of puppy they need. And that way, then later on, we're able to try and match them to a really good puppy that's going to work well for them. But after they complete the new owner questionnaire, when they put in a $500 security deposit for the waiting list, and that secures their position on the waiting list when we have those two things, the new owner questionnaire completed and the security deposit. So then they are on the waiting list, and when puppies arrive and we think we're going to be able to get a puppy from that litter for them, we will send out an email about it, and they, if they are ready to receive that puppy, then they will put in another $500 deposit. This time it's a litter reservation deposit or litter reservation fee. And that way we know that we have committed families for these puppies, and that helps us in planning and making sure all our puppies have good homes. After we do the litter reservation fee, after that's paid, then we go ahead and we start them on some of our education. We do preparing for your new puppy email series, and our puppy buyers are able to get our manual, which is 80-something pages long. It's a really comprehensive manual, has a lot of holistic care and just other basic puppy care information. So they get that, download a copy of that, and then they get lots of emails over the next few weeks. We usually do start all this about a week or two after puppies are born, when we're sure that the puppies seem to be thriving and look like it's going to be good, and we're going to be ready to send some of those puppies home. So then for the next probably 4 to 6 weeks, it's mostly 4 weeks because we do it so that by the time we're really planning and they're really getting ready to get their puppy, they've already had the chance to get through the materials. But there's different emails that go out that teach about a lot of different things and help prepare them for how to plan, how to train their puppy, the things they can do to start preparing so they're ready for training their puppy well. We have a really comprehensive new puppy checklist where they can go and buy the different things that they need for a puppy that is the size of the puppies that we sell. We have a lot of holistic education tips and things, whether it's natural, safe flea and tick alternatives, or whether it's safe vaccine alternatives, or any other things. The focus is just trying to make sure all of our puppy families are well prepared and confident, and they know what's coming and what to expect and how to handle a lot of things. So that's the first part of our support that we offer, is they get a huge amount of education so that they're ready for their puppy. Because if we sell a puppy and we don't educate people, then it's a disservice not only to not only to the people, to our puppy families who are getting the puppy, but also to the puppy herself or himself, because we want it to be a very good lifetime match for our puppy and for the family. We want the experience to just be really good, that their experience with their puppy is fantastic and that they're very happy with it and they feel empowered because of the education we've provided and the work we've put in up front to get their puppy ready and then to help them be ready for when they get their new puppy. So then, it's about a week and a half before the puppies are old enough to go home, and we don't always let them go home at 8.5 weeks. That's usually when we have them go home, but if they're really small, we might have them stay a little longer. We don't always send them home at 8.5 weeks. It really depends puppy to puppy, but usually the plan is that they'll go home about 8.5 weeks to 9 weeks, somewhere in there. So at 7 weeks, well, first it's between 6 and 7 weeks usually, we get our holistic vet exam in. All the puppies get checked out by our holistic vet to make sure that they are healthy and there's no problems with them and that they're ready to go. And then at 7 weeks, we do personality testing, where we take them and they get to meet a stranger and they get to experience new things. And we do a series of tests with each puppy to evaluate their personality. And we find out their personality type from those tests. And this is the Elite Breeder Personality Test that was created by Dr. Meg Howe. She is she's been breeding for 30 years. She is a professional breeding coach and really, really does a great job with educating and empowering breeders to do a good job with their puppies. So we learned a lot of the things we know from her. But it's her testing that we use. But we also combine that with our own experiences with the puppies, because we work with them day in and day out. We see how they work with each other, how they interact with each other, how they interact with our children. We have 9 children, and so everything from now 6 years old to 18 years old. Children that are around our puppies all the time, and they're in our living room, so it's noisy and loud, which is actually perfect for good socialization, because these puppies hear doors slamming, they hear kids running through the house, they hear the vacuum cleaner, they hear kids fighting. As crazy as that sounds, they hear our children when they squabble. All children squabble at times, so they get to hear that, and that is so beneficial for puppies, because when they hear that from when they're very young, they don't have fears of these things. It seems like it's just normal life. If somebody's doing the dishes and they drop a dish and it shatters and makes a big crashing sound on the ground, oh well, to them that's normal now, because they've heard those kinds of noises in our house with all our family. That kind of thing happens plenty often. So it's really good. But anyway, so at about 7 weeks, we do that personality testing, and then we sit down and we get all of the new owner questionnaires and any other communications we've had from our new puppy buyers, and we put them together and we sit down and we go through and we evaluate what we've observed with the puppies, combined with their personality test results, combined with what our buyers have told us in the new owner questionnaire, and then also in their emails or communications, texts, phone calls, whatever since. So we take all of that into consideration, and then we plan which puppy is the best match for each family. And that way, we do not want to send a puppy home who has a strong personality to someone who has never owned a puppy. That's just not really ethical. It's not fair to the puppy, and it's not fair to the new family. So we want to make sure we're very careful to send home a puppy that is a good match for that family, and that the family is a good match for the puppy, just to make it positive and healthy for both sides of the picture. So once we have determined which puppies are the best match, or which puppy is the best match for each family, then we send out a puppy offer email to our puppy buyers. And we tell them which puppy we have selected for them, which one we've matched them with, and why we believe that puppy is the best match for them. So then our puppy buyers get to choose if they accept the puppy or not. And when they write back to us that they've accepted the puppy, then we just move on with the next few steps, which is just going ahead and scheduling a time for puppy pickup or delivery, because we do delivery. We We do a nanny service and fly puppies pretty much anywhere in the U.S., in the continental U.S. And we've even met people to have their puppies go up to Canada. Like we can fly up to, if someone's in Toronto or someone's up close to the border there, sometimes we will maybe fly to New York and meet them just across just this side of the border so they can take their puppy across. It makes it a lot easier with the regulations and rules going across the border. But we start arranging our puppy pickup or delivery, whatever it's going to be at that point. And then around 8.5 to 9 weeks, most of our puppies go home. And that way they go home. We don't usually let them go home as early as 8 weeks. We try to get to 8.5 because there is some research that indicates that there's less risk of separation anxiety, and having those extra 4 days with their litter mates can make a big difference in how they handle things, even when it comes to biting, because they learn with each other that biting hurts, and there's just different things they learn. It's actually part of the natural socialization that happens within the family unit, within the litter. And so we keep them usually 8.5 to 9 weeks, and then they go home. And after a puppy goes home, we provide a lot of education, even spend usually anywhere from 20 minutes to an hour with each puppy family when we meet them with their puppy or deliver their puppy. And we go over a lot of information with them, make sure they're set up and ready to go. And then we usually follow up, sometimes the same day. We might follow up that evening and find out how the puppy did going home. And we try to always follow up the day afterwards. And then sometimes we might follow up a few more times throughout the week, but we're available if there's questions that come up. So our puppy buyers can contact us if something's happening and they're not sure what's going on or what to do about it, or if they have questions or anything like that. So we stay very much available for them. After a week, we go ahead and send out a feedback form because we want to get feedback from our puppy buyers to help us do a better job, to help us make the process as easy and smooth as possible for them. Because we try to imagine what it's like for them, but from our side, we have to just do it with what we know. And sometimes the insight from a puppy buyer about different processes that we've used or how we've handled things can really help us make it better for other puppy buyers. So we're always open for that. We want to have that feedback so that we can improve our process and help make things as good as possible for our puppies and their families. I think that covers pretty much the whole process, but I just wanted to share that. So anyone who's wondering how we handle things and how we do things, that kind of covers the majority of it. All right, take care.